What's up, guys? My name is Rage, and welcome to the 9th episode of the BounceMC Prison Series. How are you guys all doing? I am doing fantastic. So before I get into the topic of this episode, which will be sportsmanship, I would like to mention that this is the very first episode in which I am using my new boom arm, the Rode PSA 1, and it's fantastic because I'm in a lot more comfortable position than what I would be. I'm not quite hunched forward. It's more at my mouth level, which will make recordings a bit more comfortable for me. There shouldn't be like a huge difference in audio quality, but it's just gonna make it more enjoyable for me, and hopefully the episodes will be just as enjoyable for you as it is enjoyable for me recording them. So the topic today is going to be sportsmanship. Now, I guess the things I'm going to talk about aren't really like just sportsmanship. It's more so basic etiquette. But, I guess it's the experiences I have had are more geared towards athletic events. So I am in tennis, and in tennis, when you're on a team, what you do is, in order to figure out your spot, essentially, whether you play singles or doubles or what doubles team you're on, you have to play these things called challenge matches, and you pretty much play the person. You win, you're ahead of them, you lose, you're below them, you just challenge until the coach has a good idea where you are. Then they'll place you, and then you'll play there for the season. So I recently, I wouldn't call it as much of an upset, but I beat a kid that I don't think he expected me to beat him. And he was salty about it. So what happened was, for those of you who know some tennis, for those of you who don't, I'll try and explain this, but the score was 2-6, 6-2, 6-3 in my favor. For those of you who don't know tennis, it's kind of like I lost won the third one, but it was like a full match, so that counts as one win towards me. But it's like two best 2 out of 3 sets, and the 2 out of 3 sets are played to 6. It's really weird trying to explain that to someone that doesn't understand tennis. But anyways, so what happened? The match ended. He had a shot slightly back. I think he was trying to not overhead smash it because he was on the baseline, but he just kind of hit it deep out of the court, and he wasn't upset. He didn't display that. What happened? We shook hands. Then he grabbed his bag. He didn't run off the court. He more so briskly walked, as I collected the balls and stuff, because that's just etiquette, what the winner would want to do. So he goes by the coach, and the coach asks the score, and he just says he won. Not paying any attention to the fact that that's the coach. She kind of has supreme authority over him, and so he just runs up the stairs, gets in his car, and leaves. And then so the coach ended up being like, okay, well, he is going to play, because what happened was I challenged him earlier and beat him, so this is the second time I beat him. So he can't really be ahead of me since I kind of beat him twice, but he has to play again this afternoon because the coach felt that he wasn't displaying proper etiquette to her. She's not that kind of person where it's like, oh, you need to act up a lot and stuff, or else you're gonna be all bad. But it's just like, she was just mildly annoyed that, he lost. He was not able to display sportsmanship, so she figured he should reap the consequences. That's another thing. If you lose, whether you win or lose, you shouldn't be too excited. If you win the state championship game, it's cool to burst out laughing, not laughing, burst out in tears of joy or whatever. If you lose, it's cool to cry. That's okay, but just a casual everyday win or loss or something, you can't really pout about it. And there are some kids, they lose something. I'm talking young kids, I'm talking 5, 6, maybe 7, and they lose something. They're like, wow, I lost. They win something. They're like, yeah, woohoo. And a lot of the times, it's more so when you lose something, you're more likely to have more of a reaction than when you win something. When you win something, you're just at least for me, when I win or lose, I don't really display much emotion. On the inside, when I win, I'm like, awesome, great, I won. If I lose, I'm like, oh man, that's the pits, I won. But I'm not going to try not to display that so that my opponent got the best of me. Excuse me. Why the heck am I doing hiccups? I'm not sure. That's pretty much how that's gonna go. So I'm just saying that if you can, try and display as little emotion for a couple of reasons. It'll maintain your composure. So I play tennis and basketball, and it really helps me to maintain my emotions, maintain composure throughout, whether it be a match or a game in basketball. I like to maintain my composure because that allows for me to think under split-second decisions. What an example be in basketball. That's more of a generic sport. So in basketball, if my emotions are high, it's cool if I'm the momentum's going my way and I'm psyched up because I play well there. But if I get down on myself, if I'm down on myself and I have to make a split-second decision, someone's driving the lane, do I help over? Do I stay on the block, cover my man? If my emotions are clear and I'm all good to go, I know I'm thinking straight, I'll be able to read the play and react properly. But if I'm not thinking straight, it's just going to end up worse for me. So, I mean, if you get down on yourself, usually it's not going to end up being good. I mean, you might as well just either keep a positive attitude or keep a neutral attitude throughout the time. So that's pretty much how that goes. Another thing I like to mention is actually displaying sportsmanship during the game itself. And I think this is kind of a lot of people, they define sportsmanship. How close am I? I'm way close to ranking. I don't think I'll get it this episode. I'll get it soon, though. My next episode, I'll be ranked up. Sorry, I just went on a tangent there. Is displaying sportsmanship during the actual event, whether it be the game, the match, whatever. And this happens a lot. Actually, there was an incident for cross country. I'm not in cross country, and I wasn't able to witness this, but there was a Facebook video, and our cross country team, the girls team at least, was solid. Like they would have won state if the whatever you call it, the referees weren't as iffy, or this one team. So what happens was, we have a girl, she's like the Gatorade cross country player of the year. She's really good, like amazing runner. She's been running her entire life. She's just really quick and she's talented. So she wins the race, and I think so there's a video, they're coming up to the finish line, and this one lady, she doesn't just cut her off. Like in cross country, it's cool to cut people off, to establish position. She jockeys with, throws some bows, and it's obvious now she's throwing bows. She's kind of colliding her. It's like half football, half cross country. Geez, ladies, get out of it. Obviously, our girl didn't seem to be displaying it back. Just this one girl, and it's kind of ironic because the town. So I played in the tennis state championship last year, and we played. Two kids in doubles from the same town as this one girl that was pushing our school's girl, if that makes sense. And the kids themselves weren't that shitty, just to the line judges. The tennis meet were pretty trash. This one guy was foot faulting, aka when he serves, he put his foot over the line, which is illegal technically. Not drug illegal and get arrested, just you can't do it. And so the line judge was watching that game and calls nothing. He double faults every single point. Calls double fault, foot faults every single point. I'm getting myself confused. How I'm confused with saying this. How are you guys gonna understand? My goodness. So he foot faults, and it goes over to my partner, and he serves, and he probably rarely foot faults, but he must have foot faults in this case because the line judge called him for foot faulting, and I'm like, oh, that's some chicken poop. This wasn't a video, I would have said some different words. You guys probably know what I would have said, but I was disappointed, I mean, and the referees, they're watching this, especially at the finish line. Am I getting lag spikes? I hope I'm not. They're at the finish line, they're watching. They're watching that, they're not able to see it, but that's because, the girl that was pushing the state event was held in her hometown. Oh, so that makes sense. I mean, this town is cheaty. They're cheaty, very, very much cheaty. Not really in basketball. It's pretty hard to cheat in basketball. The refs aren't too bad there, which is good, because if the refs were bad, I'd be ticked, because basketball's more so my main sport. Anyways, so what happened was, our team got second for cross country, and they get first. I believe they got first. They're a good cross country team. Don't get me wrong. This town, they have great athletes, great talent. It's just they're just restricting so much greatness by just implementing all these cheap tactics, and it's they could be easily the top school in Wyoming, but oh well, not my fault. These guys want to play it dirty. So that's pretty much and obviously I didn't display any emotion while I was playing these guys or to the line judge, because that's unsportsmanlike. I wanted to deal with the situation as much like an adult. It would have been easy for me to whine and pout and be like, oh, get the call right, you old dude. But I didn't. I treated it mature, at least in my opinion. I didn't say anything. If that's mature. Actually, no, it probably isn't deemed mature by today's society, because unless you absolutely yell your feelings, it's not mature. But that's pretty much about all I had to talk about for sportsmanship. Just display it. I mean, be kind to your partner. Obviously, you don't have to be super nice and go easy on them. Play your hardest, play your heart out. If they're getting frustrated, don't. As long as you're doing sportsmanlike stuff, in your opinion, you can continue to do that kind of stuff. Like don't let them bug you. It probably won't be that big of a deal. But that's pretty much about it. All I want to talk about for this episode. If you enjoy it, be sure to leave a like. A like does help me out a ton. It gives me tons of motivation to make more videos. Let's see if we can get let's try for 7 F5 hello 7 likes this episode. If we could, that would be fantastic. Be sure to subscribe if you did enjoy this content, and tell me what topic I should do next episode. If you guys want to hear me talk about something, and if you made it to this far in this video, which is cool, a lot of people on, my goodness, if you made it to this far in this video, be sure to say your favorite part of the video and what you'd like to talk about next in the next episode. Until the next episode of BounceMC Prison or video on my channel, my name is FearfulRage, saying peace.